Today we're interviewing Matilda Ellis on illustration.
Hi, I'm Matty, Matilda Ellis. I am an illustrator, artist, teacher, creative person from London, and I did a foundation diploma at Kingston School of Art, and then I went on to do a degree in illustration animation at Kingston School of Art, and then also did a graduate degree at the Royal Drawing School in drawing.
Why did you choose to study illustration?
I think when I first went to art school, I didn't think I was gonna. My ideas about illustration were quite limited. I thought that I really associated it with like children's books and like quite boring images, and I thought you had to be drawing all the time, or it had to be quite cartoony or like I don't know, a bit cutesy. And so wasn't thinking I was going to do illustration, but from my foundation, I was really introduced to illustration as something that could be way more explorative and open.
Which media do you prefer to work in?
I really love just drawing, like with a pencil and paper, and that's often how I'll start all of my work. And I like it because you don't have to think about it. I also really like painting with gouache because gouache has the kind of the water solubleness and the kind of the nature that you can build up layers of stuff that watercolor has, but it has the really intense color of an acrylic. And I also really like printmaking. I do a lot of etching with Tetra Pak, which is the material that juice cartons are made from.
How has your work developed since high school?
The way that I approach topics that I'm interested in is actually quite similar. Like I've always, I don't know, I really like doing a super deep dive into a particular topic and getting a bit obsessed with it, and like going from knowing nothing about it to feeling like you're living your day-to-day life with it. And then my work is kind of about communicating that obsession to someone, or communicating that, showing someone else why I'm really interested in it. I think I've always kind of had that approach, but now I think I feel a lot more confident to execute my work in the way that I want to, rather as opposed to school, when I think the teaching I was receiving was quite limited, and felt like I was very worried about things being a good drawing or a good painting. Whereas now I feel a lot freer, but also conversely, I also do think I am better at painting and drawing because I've had like so much longer to just like be in that practice, and so now it feels a lot more instinctive.
What ideas are you interested in, and how do you explore these?
I'm really interested in storytelling and what stories get told and what stories don't, and how you can tell stories in different ways that might be unconventional. I research and explore this through looking a lot at poetry. I think lots of my work at the moment particularly comes from other people's words, which gives me a really nice starting point because I'm not just working from my own feelings. I'm kind of interpreting someone else's, which often actually lets me be more personal about it because I'm kind of doing it with the guise of using someone else's words, but actually it's stuff that really relates to me. Particularly the work of Sappho I've been looking at for a while now. She was an ancient Greek poet from like pre-Jesus, who wrote these beautiful lyric poems that have only survived in scraps. So like lots of the majority of the poem was lost, but it's scraps of it have survived. And yeah, her work has allowed me to like explore lots of the ideas I'm really interested in, and also stuff to do with queer theory as well. That's something I'm really interested in my work, and also I'm very interested in space and how it feels to like be in different spaces or move through different spaces, and how who you are changes how you interact with the space. So I do, and I explore that through trying to work outside as much as possible, like I am today, and do drawing from life and drawing in an environment.
What was the most important thing you learned at art school?
From being around my peers on my course, because I don't know, I'd known I'd come from school to university. I entered university, and suddenly like everyone was incredible, and everyone was making such exciting work that I was really interested in, and really like to see them making it was a really amazing process, especially when it's people who were thinking in completely different ways to me, like working alongside fine artists or fashion designers or performance artists who were making work in a way that I never think to. But I found it really inspiring for my own work, and just to like see how different people approach stuff. I think that was the thing I learned the most, and that I think I learned that it's important to stay talking to other people, because I think sometimes when I'm was giving advice to someone else about their work, it would actually help me think through my own stuff, or like to share my work, because when I used to be really scared to talk about my own work, because I don't know, I thought people would judge me, or like I was just scared of like that I wouldn't know how to say it. But actually, because when you're at art school, you have to get very comfortable talking in front of groups of people about your own work, and it definitely forced me to be more focused about my work, and be like, I've got 5 minutes to communicate what I'm doing to a group of 60 people, and I've got to do that in the clearest way possible. And I think that helps the work a lot.
In the future, where do you hope to go with your illustration degree?
In the future, I hope to continue to make work and do commissions for magazines or editorial pieces, and continue to teach, because teaching is something I really love doing and helps my own work a lot. And I also hope to communicate my work in different ways. I definitely want to make publications or books to distribute my work, even if they aren't like linear books, and also be in exhibitions. Just like share my work out as widely as possible, and I think use it to help causes or organisations that I really believe in, I think.
What advice would you give an aspiring young illustrator?
That it's to stay really open, because there's no need to figure out like a style or a one medium that you work in that you're amazing at, or something that is your signature style, because I think that gets thrown around a lot, and actually when you're young it's far more open to more important to just try everything. Watch as many films as possible, and read, if you want to, read as many books as possible, listen to music videos, like anything. I think we're really lucky that we've got, with the internet, we have access to so many different ways of telling stories, and so many different people's stories that they've already told. So to consume as much of that as possible. Thank you for listening, and I hope these helped in some way. Bye.